Let me ask you something uncomfortable. What if everything you were told about money, go to school, get a good job, work hard, get a raise, what if all of that was actually designed to keep you comfortable enough to never question it? Not as a conspiracy, not as some dark secret, but just as a system that was never built to make you wealthy in the first place. Because here's what's strange. There are people earning $40,000 a year who are quietly building real wealth. And there are people earning $200,000 a year who are completely broke. And the difference has almost nothing to do with the number on their paycheck. So if you've ever thought, I just need to earn more money and everything will be fine, stay with me. Because what I'm about to show you might completely change the way you think about your financial life. If this is the kind of honest money conversation you've been looking for, subscribe right now. We break down wealth, psychology, and investing in ways that actually make sense. Here's the story most of us are living. You finish school. You land a job. Maybe it's not your dream job, but it pays. Then slowly, you get better at it. You get a raise. Life gets a little more comfortable. You upgrade your car. You move into a nicer apartment. You eat out more often. You take that vacation you've been putting off. And then you get another raise. And the same thing happens again. Life expands to fill the money coming in. You're not being reckless. You're not gambling. You're just living what feels like a normal, earned life. And yet somehow, at the end of every month, your bank account looks almost exactly the same as it did before the raise. Sound familiar? This has a name. Economists call it lifestyle inflation. But I like to think of it as the salary trap, because that's exactly what it is. A trap. A comfortable, well-decorated, socially approved trap. And the reason it works so well is because it feels like progress. Your life looks better. Your clothes are nicer. Your car is newer. But your actual financial position, how free you are, how much runway you have, how quickly you could stop working if you had to, that stays almost exactly the same. Here's the hard truth. A salary is designed to pay for your time, not to build your future. And the moment you understand that difference, everything changes. Let's talk about how money actually flows. Because most people think about income in one direction. Money comes in, life gets funded. That's it. But wealthy people see a completely different picture. Think about two people. We'll call them Marcus and Daniel. Marcus earns $60,000 a year. When he gets a raise to $70,000, he gets a better car, moves to a nicer area, and upgrades his gym membership. His expenses rise with his income. Every year he earns more. Every year he spends more. He looks successful. He feels successful. But 10 years later, his net worth is almost nothing. Daniel also earns $60,000. But when he gets that same raise to $70,000, he keeps his life exactly the same. He takes that extra $10,000 and puts it to work. Index funds, a small investment account, maybe a side income stream he's been building on weekends. His lifestyle doesn't move, but his money does. 10 years later, Daniel isn't just a little ahead of Marcus. He's in a completely different financial universe. And here's the psychological piece that makes this so difficult. Our brains are wired to spend. Seriously. When more money comes in, spending it feels natural, rewarding, even. There's a chemical response in the brain, dopamine, that gets triggered when we buy things, when we upgrade, when we signal to ourselves and the world that we're doing better. Saving money doesn't give you that same hit. Investing feels abstract. You can't show anyone your index fund at dinner, but you can show them your new car. This is the real battlefield. It's not about math. It's about psychology. And the salary system, the traditional earn and spend model, feeds directly into that psychology. Every raise, every bonus, every promotion whispers the same message. You've earned this. Go, enjoy it. And you have earned it. But enjoying it by spending it all is exactly how you stay on the treadmill forever. Now let's go deeper. Because the salary problem isn't just about spending habits. It's about something more fundamental, the difference between active income and passive income. Your salary is active income. That means every single dollar you earn requires your direct time and energy. You stop working, the money stops coming. It doesn't matter if you earn $50,000 or $500,000. If it's all salary, it's all fragile. Because your ability to earn it depends entirely on you showing up. Passive income is different. It's money that earns money. A dividend-paying investment. A rental property. A business that runs without you. Royalties. These things produce income while you sleep, while you're on vacation, while you're sick, while you're living your life. The wealthy don't just earn more. They build systems that earn for them. Warren Buffett said something that sounds simple but cuts deep. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And most people, without realizing it, are set up for exactly that. Here's a metaphor that helped me understand this. Think of your salary as a bucket of water. Every month, water gets poured in. And every month, the water drains out. Rent, food, car, subscriptions, everything. You keep filling the bucket. The bucket keeps emptying. And you have to keep filling it forever, because if you stop, the bucket goes dry. Now imagine you have a pipe. And every month, instead of spending all the water, you redirect some of it into building a second bucket, one that fills itself. At first, it's slow. The second bucket barely holds anything. But over time, it starts to fill on its own. It starts to overflow a little. And eventually, that second bucket is producing enough water that you don't need to fill the first one anymore. That's what investing does. That's what building assets does. It creates a second bucket. And the salary, no matter how large, will never build that second bucket for you. You have to build it intentionally, consistently, by redirecting water before it drains away. Here's the insight that ties all of this together. The traditional path, education, employment, salary, promotion, is a system that was built to create great workers, productive citizens, reliable consumers. It was not built to create wealthy individuals. And that's not cynicism. That's just understanding the design. Schools teach you how to be employed. They don't teach you how to invest, how to build businesses, how compound interest works over decades, or how to think about money as a tool rather than a reward. So most people graduate with no financial education, enter a salary system, and spend their entire working lives doing exactly what the system was built for them to do. Earning and spending, right up until retirement. And here's what makes it even more subtle. Society validates this path at every stage. You get a raise. People congratulate you. You buy a house. People say you've made it. You drive a nice car. People assume you're doing well. But none of those things measure actual wealth. Wealth is what's left when you subtract your liabilities from your assets. Wealth is your net worth. Wealth is the gap between what you own and what you owe. And the salary system, combined with lifestyle inflation, actively works to keep that gap as small as possible. The people who break free from this are the ones who stop asking, "How can I earn more?" and start asking, "How can I keep more? And how can I make what I keep work for me?" Those are two completely different questions, and they lead to completely different lives. So what do you actually do with this? First, recognize the trap. Not with guilt or frustration, but with clarity. Lifestyle inflation isn't a moral failure. It's a default, and you can override any default once you see it clearly. Second, separate your raises from your lifestyle. This is the simplest and most powerful thing you can do. Every time your income increases, commit to keeping your lifestyle exactly where it is and redirecting that difference into investments. Even if it's small, even if it's just $50 a month. The habit is the thing. The amount grows over time. Third, start thinking in assets, not income. Ask yourself, what do I own that earns money without me? If the answer is nothing, that's your starting point. Not a judgment. A direction. You don't need to be rich to start investing. You don't need a financial advisor or a complicated strategy. A basic index fund, started early, contributed to consistently, is one of the most powerful wealth-building tools on the planet. Time is your biggest advantage, and every year you wait, you give some of it away. Fourth, take your financial education seriously. The system didn't give it to you. That means you have to seek it out. Books, channels like this one, conversations with people who are further along the path than you. Information is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Here's what I want you to walk away with. Your salary is not the enemy. It's your starting material. The problem is when we treat it as the destination, when we think that earning more is the same as becoming wealthy. It isn't. It never has been. The people who build real financial freedom aren't necessarily the ones who earn the most. They're the ones who understood the difference between money that flows through them and money that works for them. And they made a decision, sometimes quietly, sometimes slowly, to start building the second kind. The treadmill will always be there. It's comfortable, familiar, and society will keep applauding you for staying on it. But the moment you decide to step off, to redirect even a small piece of what you earn into something that grows, that's the moment your financial life actually begins. If this opened your eyes to something you hadn't considered before, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. And subscribe if you want to keep learning how money, psychology, and wealth actually work together. Next video, we're breaking down the one investing concept that could change your financial life more than any raise ever will. You don't want to miss it. See you there.